Body.
Yes, today we've got a very interesting topic, so I'll let you just figure it out.
We're talking about personal empowerment. And this is something I always find that on a Friday, the topics that are discussed are ones that definitely have resonated with me. So things that have happened in my week, I just look at and I go, okay, what's been my biggest challenge? And a lot of what's happened this week has been, life is definitely a journey, and it's not about getting to the destination. It really is about the journey. And on the journey, you have these little challenges, and you either have challenges of a landlord, which I've recently had, or you have challenges maybe with work colleagues. You see things differently, maybe with partners, maybe with, I don't know, your parents. My dad's very sick at the moment with dementia. That's been a bit of a thing. So it's like looking at all these things and going, okay, so how can I be the best version of myself, and what can I learn from this? And for me, that's what personal empowerment is. It's working on you, because you can only manage you. So that's how I see it. What's your take?
So no, I always say life is a journey, and I always say like I'll never forget because I was going through when my mom got sick. A friend, we were like in a bachelorette party, and then I was very sad about the situation, and I'll never forget that conversation, which was in the toilet in front of everyone else. But she said, like, life is like Waze, the GPS. You have a destination to go to. And that's why I use this example all the time because I really resonated with this. You know, you are going through on your way to get to wherever it's going to be. Well, we don't really know what's our final destination in life, but you're going through that route. But you never know what's going to happen. You can plan whatever you want in life, but then
Yeah.
you go into like a roadblock. Then you go into there was, I don't know, some tsunami, whatever on the way. Then you cannot drive from this. Now there's like, traffic because the robot is not working here. And life keep on pushing you and challenging you all the time. And then it's up to you to decide, what do you want to do? How do you want to handle this? And that's why I like that saying the formula event plus reaction equal to the outcome. Events will always happen in our life. It's there. You got nothing to do to change it. The question
Yeah.
is, how do you react to this? Like, whatever your reaction will be, that's what's going to happen with the final outcome. And like, you can say like, and we spoke about what happened to you with your partner, and you can be grumpy about this and get annoyed and try to, fight with them or whatever. Or you can say, okay, I'm just gonna
Time
let it
to move
go. I'm gonna
on.
move on. I'm gonna move on with that. And then
Yeah.
you like your energy is in a different place. You're like, managing yourself in a different way. And your
Yeah.
life is easier. You don't have that burden of like being grumpy and being annoyed. So it's up to you. And that's why I really love this topic. Like, what's personal empowerment? It's up to you to empower yourself. If you need to have a good supporting group, yes, that people
Mm.
will push you, but it's all up to you. I cannot decide for you, and neither you can decide for no one else how they will react to the situation. And it's like a friend of mine said the other day, like no matter what happens to your life, even if someone else is guilty now with something, it's still your decision to get hurt. It's still your decision, like, how to react to the situation. So think about it. How do you want to react to things?
And just one more thing before we get into this. The beginning of this year, I did a vision board. At the beginning of this year, I'm very, very committed to the personal development journey within myself, because that's what I do. That's what I do for a living. That's what I do from a coaching perspective. That's what I do from a mentoring perspective. And I really asked to become the best version of myself. And I have to say, this year, oh my gosh, has a challenge. It really, really, really has. And I think these challenges just help us become better versions of ourselves. And if we're not, we need to own our stuff. We just kind of do. Okay, with that
So
being said,
before you start, Nikki says self-love is number one. Absolutely true.
yeah,
We are fully agreeing with us.
exactly. So the first one is getting out of your comfort zone. And I think every single person can relate to that. So getting out of your comfort zone, yeah, definitely is obviously uncomfortable. That's why you're getting out of your comfort zone. But it also it enables you to set goals, enables you to put an action plan. It enables you to actually see the bigger picture and do more and be more? I'm waiting for you.
No, I was just doing something and I don't want to have that sound. But I fully agree with you because we always keep on pushing for doing things outside of your comfort zone. Thanks to us doing things out of comfort zone, our year have changed thanks to this podcast. That was part of our journey. That's part of our friendship. And we always keep on saying, and we do repeat it on purpose because it is so important. Try to find even one small thing that you can do today that is outside of your comfort zone. Just push yourself a bit. And if you're not sure, just get the right people to push you and do it, because then the feeling after, in the beginning, it's stressful, but after you feel amazing.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
The second one is that you develop your strengths. Once you know what's your strengths, and that's why I always keep on saying, do the SWOT analysis for yourself. Learn what's your strengths, what's your weaknesses, so learn it. Then you can actually have an action plan. And that's actually in everything. Once you know your strengths, how to even define your brand promise, because you know what you can give, you can promise. You know yourself, you know what you want to improve, you know what you want to actually challenge even more. As much as you learn about yourself, it's going to be easier for you to deal with stuff. It's going to be easier. And especially, and I'll take it from a business side, if you know your strengths, you know exactly what you want to highlight. On the other side, if you know your weaknesses, your challenges, you also know what you want to overcome. And then it links to the first one, that you can take some stuff out of it, which are outside of your comfort zone, and deal with them and keep on pushing yourself. So, I always say, if you know yourself, that's how your client's going to know you. That's how your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, family will know you. But if you don't even know yourself, what's your key strengths? How can you expect them to know?
It is very much stuff around, for me, I was thinking about it today. I've been watching a lot of series and movies around some really disturbing situations where there's been injustice done. And I thought, okay, so that really, really, really resonates, and it really, really, really moves me. Not to a point that I've ever wanted to think about, I don't want to be an attorney or a lawyer or something like that, because that doesn't resonate with me at all. But there's something about injustice which is not okay with me. And I think that's a huge reason why I do the part-time work at Say Yes, because I really, really believe if you are willing to work and help other people, it just makes everything so much easier. And sometimes getting out of your comfort zone, if you haven't got the tools and you don't have the opportunity, it can be really, really, really hard, So yeah, I think focusing on your strengths, and ask your friends or work colleagues or whomever, if you don't know what your strengths are, ask them what they are, because sometimes you forget the things that you're good at.
I have to do one thing. It's when you do the SWOT analysis for yourself and you try to learn about yourself, even ask, like you're saying now, ask a friend or colleagues or a partner, to write a few of them. And because you do, if you know what's your key strengths, so why focusing on the negative in life? Why try to do things that are part of your weaknesses when you can actually focus and use your strengths as a benefit? But at the same time, every time do something outside of your comfort zone and start working on one small thing from your weaknesses.
Yeah, and I just want to say, for me, one of your biggest strengths, definitely, is you're so giving and so much about community. You talk about it, you live it, you do it, and that is definitely your strength. You give, you're very generous, and you're very much about connecting people, community. That's your thing. Yeah, that is definitely your strength. So I wanted to share that. Okay, the next one is about boosting your self-confidence. So when you know what your strengths are, it does make you feel more confident, because it makes you feel validated. It makes you feel like there's something unique about you. So definitely, I mean, even now, by me sharing what I think was one of your strengths, definitely makes you feel better. I'm not doing it to make you feel better. That's not my thing at all. But it definitely does make you feel better when people know what their strengths are.
And also, it's people sometimes maybe feel afraid to share what they think. Maybe they're afraid to say stuff. And a lot of time we keep things inside, but it's not going to help you to build your confidence. And confidence is very important, because it's in everything. You want to be confident, when you're driving, even a car, right? You need to be confident that you're controlling this car. When
Yeah.
you are meeting a new client, you want to be confident, like, and I always keep on saying, like, if you are not agreeing to do this with me, I'm not sure if I would be able to do it just me by myself. And I admit it, but that helped me a lot to start building my confidence. It helped me that, okay, I'm not alone, I'm doing it. We have a good connection, things are flowing, things are going. And at one point, it just pushed me to do it by myself, okay. And then I thought, okay, I can do it, which again, this confidence linked to the first one, to do things outside of your comfort zone. Because it's like, we were just keep on pushing ourselves. And like, I'm so grateful that you're part of my journey, because I'm also learning a lot from this different tips and everything. And we always like, and we also work in such a different way, and it's so nice and funny, like, you preparing things up front, I'm more like in my creative way, and you go with it. You go with the flow with me, and I know it's not easy probably to do.
No, but I trust you. Yeah, if that's what you do, then I roll with it. Absolutely.
And that's the beauty. Be you. Just
Yeah.
be you. That's the thing.
Yeah, totally.
And it's actually also kind of linked to the last one, that it's, improve your self-awareness. You can only change something once you are aware of it. And it's true. And that's like in everything in life. The moment, like, you're acknowledging the problem, you're acknowledging there is an issue. The moment you are aware about this, then it's up to you to decide and say, okay, am I going to fix it? Am I going to change it? Or I'm okay with this and I can stay like this. It's up to you to decide what to do. But I think, like, even like when you're looking about problems, like people like drug addicts or things like that, they always say that first, the moment you admit it, that's when you've done the biggest part.
Yeah.
Then after that, it's easier.
Yeah. I mean, that's for me, because every Thursday, I've spoken about this a lot, but every Thursday I have a mentoring session with Andrew from Say Yes. And it's very, very empowering, because I'll talk to him about any, different challenges or things that are happening. And in that, he's very, 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 very good at going, yeah, okay, and bringing whatever to my awareness, whether it is around the mentoring process, whether it's around the way that I see the world. And, he reminds me how we all have our own perspective. We all see the world in the way that we see the world. So it doesn't mean you're wrong or I'm wrong or you're right. It doesn't mean that. It just means if I see it, if I think that stealing is not great, someone else might go, well, you know what, I didn't have food and I don't have food and this person's got a lot, so maybe I just take it, So we all have a different perspective. I'm not saying it's wrong or right. It's just we all have a different way. And when you bring something to somebody's awareness of that we are all different, I think it makes us more open and accepting of others and going, we're not all the same. And that's okay too, and let's find our connection. Yeah. Yeah. So we want to find our connection with our differences, accepting each other, being who we are.
And I think it links to the example I gave about the two of us, because we both work in kind of two different ways, but we found a system that works for us. And we developed that system in time. And that's the nice thing, we are aware about a lot of stuff. And like, I wouldn't mind if you're going to give me like some criticism about stuff, because I'll see it like as a more constructive criticism. And then I'll say, okay, makes sense. I'm going to listen. And that's the thing. A lot of time we're getting into a difference when someone tells us something. Instead of actually stopping, saying, okay, I'm going to listen. I'm going to take some time, to maybe think about it, to understand it. So do it, don't just automatically get into a difference. Sometimes, and that's the thing, like, we're all very different. Like, like you said, we all have different perceptions. I definitely have a different perception than you, because I also come from a different culture, a different country. I also think that, and add to that my personality and your personality and all of this, it's a mix. And that's why I always say there's no competition in the small entrepreneur side, because we all are different. We all bring something else.
I think the only thing that is fundamental, like my best mate who lives in Portugal, she phoned me this last week, and man, it's just amazing. She's been gone pretty much nearly a year, and we just, it's like she left yesterday. It's just we just kind of touched base, and I just thought about it afterwards, and we also are incredibly different. However, every single person in my life that I'm really, really, really close to, we've got the same values. And the values are what keep us together, you know. So you and I, our values are very, very, very much the same. So yes, different culture, different all the rest, but our values are the same. The way that we would treat each other and the way that we treat other people is the same. And that's pretty much fundamental, you know. That to me is fundamental.
It is, because also, by the way, and I'll link it to the business side as well. But like, if your clients feel that they share the same values in you, that means that they're going to be loyal to your brand, and that's what you want to, because they're going to keep on coming and buying like your service or product, and they're going to be your best brand ambassador. So it is part of it, and that's why it's very important to also know yourself, because then you know what's your core values. And if you want, we have a video on this about core values, so you can find it and learn what are the different core values and see to which one you actually resonate with. And check it out. Check it out with your friends. Sometimes it's actually not a bad thing, like just to sit with some friends and have a chat and see, are you sharing the same thing? Because a lot of time we are acting like, automatically, like we're doing stuff like on like a robot kind of mode. But if you actually stop for a second and sit, it's going to be nice to discover what are the things you have in common with people.
Yeah.
So we're going to summarize it all up, the tips that we're giving you on like, what do we like on the personal development side. Please write down in the comments. Doesn't matter if you watch it like here on live or now on a watch party. Just share with us. What are your takeaways? What are you gonna take? Which one do you resonate with more? Which one you actually want to start working on it? And by the way, every Tuesday we are talking about marketing. So we give marketing tips. Every Friday it's a personal development side. It's very interesting. We always have interesting topics. There's always lots of information here. You're more than welcome to come and watch it and follow Shift 1 Degree and follow Big Dog Consulting. And if you have topics that you want us to speak about, to give you tips from the marketing personal development side, that's your time. Feel free to do it. Also, if you want to go live with us and just let us like help you and guide you, don't be afraid. Don't be shy. Join us.
Yeah.